team news? Any injuries or anything from last out of the game?
Yeah, we're not too bad. Had a few knocks, obviously. Graham's a knock, Jimmy a knock, Barry, McNamee as well. But we're giving them up the kick-off, so we just assess things. The lads have obviously worked tremendously hard over the last number of months, and when you're playing so many games together, the ground quite firm, it can take its toll. But on the plus side, Stephen Beattie should come back in. Carol Morrissey's in recovery, and he'll come back in, and Johnny Dunleavy will probably make the bench as well, which is good.
Had 2 wins over Sligo already. Would it be fair to say the upper hand over there?
Well, Sligo has been a venue that has caused us lots of problems over the last number of years, and we've had a number of draws up there, and this year, very early in the season, we went up there and we won, I think, possibly on the night. We scored twice in the first 10 minutes, maybe caught them just one of their early games at home. So they were a much different team, and they came down a number of weeks ago when Jimmy Graham got a late winner. They were much more defensively very strong. Over the last 3 weeks, they've kept 3 clean sheets. They've won in Derry last weekend. So they've got their team very organised, and obviously with Gerard Little coming in, when you bring in new players, it takes a bit of time for players to settle, and it seems as if over the last 2 months he's got his team very strong, and they were desperately unlucky to lose the last minute goal away to Dundalk. So certainly there'll be a lot more about them over the last 6 or 7 weeks. So I keep saying every week you go to Sligo, passionate crowd, great venue, great soccer town, but at the same time I always feel for ourselves that we need to go with the performance at the top level for ourselves, and we do. We think we can get results, and if we don't perform at that level, well, then you'll expect to drop points. So we can't afford to do that.
You mentioned Jimmy Keogh, and he's nominated for Player of the Month. Needs to be recognised for his performances for the last weeks as well.
Yes, I didn't know that. Yeah, great for Jimmy, fantastic fella. Good thing about him, he won't be out celebrating or jumping up and down. He's very level-headed, and a tremendous person. But great for a guy like Jimmy to be recognised. He's an unsung hero. Had a phenomenal season season for us. He's been doing brilliant again this year, and he just slots in, and thankfully as well, he's popping up with goals, which is great for him. But I keep saying, like a lot of our guys always said about Morrissey, Buckley before, again, unsung heroes. And Jimmy's one of those guys like that. So it's great that he's getting a bit of recognition. But at the same time, he won't be out celebrating, that's for sure.
I suppose I should say he's shortlisted. He hasn't won it yet.
Conor, I presume, comes back into the mix, does he?
Well, sorry, Conor's back in. Yeah, obviously his suspension's over, so yeah, Conor will come back in as well. So we'd hope going to Sligo that, I suppose, really that we're nearly, have nearly everyone to pick from. So Conor will come back in as well.
And after their bad start, John, they're kind of fighting their way out of the bottom 3, really. So it kind of proves your theory that every game is worth. Alright, it's worth 3 points, but everybody's fighting to get a victory, aren't they?
I will look at Gerald Little. Has a lot of experience. He's been in the north and was very successful with Cliftonville. And when you come into a club like Sligo, he came in halfway through last season, and you're just trying to get them to the end of the season. They were in a relegation battle, and he was just trying to make sure that they didn't go down. And then in the off season, he was trying to bring his own players in. So he's got his own team, his own shape about them. And but sometimes it takes time when you bring somebody in. But the one thing always is that Sligo are a full-time professional club. Have always been a great soccer town and soccer club, and you look at their history. Even in the last 7-8 years, they've won a number of cups. They won the league, so they've always been a team that are thereabouts. And it's probably more frustrating the fact that they had such a purple patch. They expected it was going to last forever, and that doesn't happen. And they've been rebuilding over the last number of years, and Gerald's coming out and put a stamp on it. And obviously, the way the league is going at the moment, they're in a situation where, despite the fact they're in the bottom half of the table, they're still in a situation where that if they can keep their form going and they turn 4, 5, 6 wins together, they could qualify for Europe, and that's still up for grasp. So from that point of view, that's what I keep saying, that every week for us, if you don't perform, you're going to lose points. If you perform, I expect then that we'll be good enough to win. But We only looked at their rematch last week, scored 2 cracking goals and really played exceptionally well up there. And a couple of weeks ago against Shamrock Rovers at home, they were lucky not to win the match. So it's, you know, and Sligo have a habit of putting up to the top teams and causing upsets. So we're well aware of that. Like.
John, you said John Dunleavy is back in contention now. Has it been taking a bit longer than you thought it would? I think you were saying kind of back in the spring that you hoped he'd be available in May. Like, is it just a case of being fully certain that he's ready?
Yeah, it is really. It's just difficult, and I suppose the thing about it then is it probably helped us that our form has been very good, and we were able to keep him on the long finger and keep his rehab slower than, you know, obviously we had hoped that maybe mid-May he'd be back or around then, but he's not far off track. But I suppose at the moment is that, you know, while he's bursting himself to get back into the action, you know, the last couple of weeks we've just, with the physios, they've just stalled a little bit because they just want to make sure that, you know, there's no rush, that he's ready to come in. The beauty for us is that obviously the fact that he's just coming right now will mean that when he comes in after the break he'll be ready to go. So definitely in the next 2 games, if we could get him a bit of game time, it would be great, but we'll have to see how that goes. He has to be ready for that, but he is training and he's running around the place and he's making tackles, and, you know, we were trying to tell him to maybe hold off a little bit, but that's Johnny, and you know, that's his game, and, you know, he wants to prove that he wants to be back in and ready for the second half of the season and get his place back. And you know, so he knows this, you know, he's so frustrated the way things have gone for him, particularly the run in to win the double last year, not being on the pitch for that. And so he's hoping that he's ready for the second half this year, and that hopefully, you know, that we can challenge him and win some trophies.
And one of the papers today suggesting there might be a few departures in the summer. Is there any truth in that?
Well, I think there's a lot of things happen with a lot of the clubs in the sense that there's always, you know, 1 or 2 lads that are looking. Mikey Howard goes back after Saturday, you know, and obviously, you know, as I said, lovely fella, great lad, and you know, I think the experience over here will have helped him. And then after that, you know, do I expect, you know, a couple of guys? We need to assess John Kavanagh where he's at. He's going back to Waterford on Monday, so we're hoping that he'll play out the number of games up to the break and up to the end of June, and we'll assess things how they are then. But you know, possible that there's probably one going to go out. Myself, I don't really want anyone because the group are good and they're tight knit and they're training very hard, and I'm happy with a lot of them. But you know, like that, I haven't had any offers, and but this will be the time over the next couple of weeks when clubs will be contacting and maybe asking that. So we'll see what the situation is there. But I think, you know, the overwhelming majority of the squad are delighted and very happy the way things are going, and despite the fact that maybe some of them aren't playing, they can see that, you know, the training is fantastic, the intensity is great, and Europe is on the horizon. So, you know, personally, I'd hope that we keep most of the panel.